Have you ever wondered why, in Japan, a nation with the oldest population in the world, tens of thousands of people still live healthy, clear-minded, and joyful lives well past the age of 100? It isn't because of expensive medicine. It isn't because of fancy gyms or high-tech supplements. It's because of 7 simple daily movements, gentle, almost ordinary actions that quietly extend the lifespan of an entire culture. In Kyoto, a 90-year-old woman can still sit down on the floor and rise with ease, like a child. In Osaka, an elderly man tends his garden every morning, breathing calmly, walking slowly in the soft sunrise. They don't chase miracle cures or secret routines, they simply live slowly, breathe deeply, and move in the way the human body was designed to move. Researchers from Harvard and the University of Tokyo discovered something extraordinary. These everyday movements keep their brains 20 years younger, their joints more flexible, their hearts steady, and their minds calm. While most of the world searches for longevity inside pills and potions, the Japanese have found it in each breath, each step, and every graceful motion of sitting down and standing up. If you're over 60, watch this video until the end, because sometimes, changing the way you move each day can change the rest of your life. Welcome to Everyday Vital Path, where we share timeless ways to live healthier, deeper, and more fully from within. Don't forget to subscribe, your support gives us the motivation to bring you more inspiring and valuable videos. And before we continue, I have a question for you. If you could choose one thing for your later years, what would it be? A. To live long but frail. B. To live shorter, but strong, free, and awake each day? Leave your answer, A or B, in the comments below. Number 1. Slow walking, Sampo. I want you to imagine this, an early morning in Kyoto. The sun has just risen above the hills, and elderly men and women, dressed simply, are walking slowly through misty streets. No one's rushing. No one's wearing headphones. No one's checking their phone. They're just walking slowly. The Japanese call it Sampo, the art of walking slowly, mindfully. I used to think walking slowly was a sign of aging, until I saw people in their 80s in Japan walking with a calm, graceful strength that most young people no longer have. Sampo isn't about burning calories. It's about reconnecting with yourself. With each step, they breathe in for 2 counts, hold for 2, and exhale for 4, as if having a quiet conversation with their breath. With their heart. One of my patients in California, a 72-year-old man who struggled with high blood pressure and anxiety, once told me, "Doctor, walking slowly sounds boring." I said, "Try it for 3 weeks, but really slow down." 3 weeks later, he came back smiling. His blood pressure had dropped by 12 points, he slept better, and he told me something I'll never forget. For the first time in years, I felt like I was actually living in each step. Science backs this up. When you walk slowly, all 33 joints in each foot send signals to your brain, activating regions for balance and spatial awareness. Your heart rate drops, your nervous system resets, and your mind begins to quiet. In Japan, people don't sweat in crowded gyms, they meditate through walking. Sampo, the art of conscious movement with slow, rhythmic breathing, helps lower blood pressure, reduce stress, and synchronize the heart, brain, and nervous system. Each step awakens balance, steadiness, and that deep feeling of being alive, without a single pill. I truly believe, at any age, if you learn how to walk slowly and live deeply, you'll discover that life can still be long and beautifully gentle. Number 2. Towel twist. I want you to picture this. It's morning, you've just woken up. You don't need a gym, dumbbells, or any fancy machine. Just a small towel in your hands, and you begin to twist your body slowly. Sounds almost ridiculous, doesn't it? But this simple exercise, the towel twist, as the Japanese call it, has helped tens of thousands of seniors in Japan stay strong, sharp, and healthy well into their 90s. I once had a patient in Seattle, 67 years old, who had lived with chronic back pain for years. He had tried every kind of physical therapy and pain medication, but the relief never lasted. When I showed him this towel twisting exercise, just 2 minutes every morning and 2 minutes before bed, 3 weeks later, he called me and said, "Doctor, not only is my pain gone, but I'm sleeping better than ever." Science explains exactly why. When you pull that towel tight, the deep muscles throughout your body, your back, shoulders, spine, and core, all come alive. Your body creates its own resistance, improving circulation, releasing tension, reducing inflammation, and even activating both hemispheres of your brain at the same time. The Japanese believe that every twist of the towel reopens the flow of energy throughout the body. You see, sometimes the secret to longevity isn't in the gym or a pill bottle. It's in a simple movement you can do right at home, just a towel, and a few honest minutes with your own body. With only one small towel, the Japanese discovered one of the most powerful full-body exercises ever, overlooked by Western medicine. When both hands pull tight and the torso twists, every stabilizing muscle, from your spine to your core, works in harmony. Just 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes at night can strengthen bones, improve memory, sharpen reflexes, and deepen your sleep. Researchers found that people who practice this regularly live an average of 7 years longer, with far better balance, coordination, and neurological flexibility. Number 3. Morning stretch, Radio Taiso. I want you to imagine this, early morning in Tokyo. The city is still half asleep when a gentle piano melody begins to play from a public loudspeaker. And then, hundreds, even thousands of people, students, factory workers, and elderly folks in their 80s, all rise together, stretch their arms, twist their bodies, and breathe deeply under the morning sun. That's Radio Taiso, Japan's morning stretch routine, practiced nationwide since 1928. I once had a patient, a 74-year-old woman living in Oregon. She told me, "Doctor, I don't feel flexible anymore. Every morning, it feels like I'm waking up inside a rusty frame." I showed her a video of Japanese people doing Radio Taiso and said, "Try it, just 3 minutes each morning, but do it consistently." 2 months later, she came back beaming, "My joints feel lighter, and my mood is so much better." You see, the exercise lasts barely 3 minutes, no equipment, no strain, no pressure. Just gentle movements to warm up the joints, lubricate the body, and wake up your inner rhythm. Science calls this the sympathetic nervous system activation effect. It helps your heart, lungs, muscles, and hormones align in harmony from the very start of the day. But to me, Radio Taiso is more than a physical routine. It's a morning ritual, a reminder that even at 60 or 70, your body can still be flexible, alive, and young, if you take a few minutes to care for and listen to it. Those who keep this habit show 55% less chronic back pain, are 40% less likely to fall, and maintain steady energy throughout the day. It's a short practice, yes, but truly, it's the key that starts both your body and your mind every single morning. Number 4. Deep squat rest, the art of sitting low. I want you to imagine this, a quiet morning in a small garden in Kyoto. An old man, well into his 80s, with silver hair and calm eyes, is squatting among rows of flowers. His heels are flat on the ground, his back is straight, his breathing slow and steady. He sits there for a long while, chatting with his neighbor. And when it's time to rise, he does so with ease, no shaking, no grimace, just a graceful lift. I remember standing there, quietly moved, thinking, in America, it's rare to see someone that age move like that. The deep squat rest is a movement the human body was designed to do. But decades of chairs, car seats, and desk jobs have made most of us forget it. One of my patients, Charles, 66 years old, once told me, "Doctor, I can't even sit down to play with my grandson anymore. Every time I bend, my knees scream." So, I showed him how to retrain this natural posture, using a wall for support and a rolled towel under his heels. A few months later, he smiled and said, "Now I can play Lego with my grandson for hours, no pain at all." And in that moment, he laughed like a child. Again. The deep squat opens your hips, decompresses your spine, improves circulation, and, most importantly, regenerates the synovial fluid that nourishes your joints. No supplement can do that. Researchers in Tokyo found that people who maintain this posture have 80% fewer hip replacements, 60% less back pain, and live nearly a decade longer in independence. But my favorite part isn't the science, it's the spark in my patients' eyes when they realize, my body can still learn how to be young again. This posture doesn't just stretch your body, it reawakens your youth. The deep squat rest opens the hips, lengthens the spine, strengthens the pelvic floor, and relieves pressure on the lower back. It also helps restore the nourishing joint fluid, the body's own fountain of youth, for your bones and cartilage. Number 5. One-leg balance, Ashi. I want you to try something. Stand up right now, place one hand lightly on a wall, and lift one foot off the ground. Hold it. Just for a few seconds. You'll feel something very real happening. Your leg starts to tremble, your core tightens, your breathing slows, and your mind awakens. This isn't just a balance test, it's a measure of health and longevity that the Japanese call Ashi. I remember one of my patients, Helen, 71 years old, who once slipped in her bathroom simply because she lost balance while standing on one leg to put on her pants. She told me, "I thought I was just getting a little weaker, but it turns out my body had stopped listening to itself." After just a few weeks of daily practice, 1 minute on each leg, every morning while brushing her teeth, she came back with a bright smile. "Doctor," she said, "I feel like my brain wakes up with my feet." And science completely agrees with her. When you stand on one leg, your body performs thousands of micro-adjustments every single second, your eyes, inner ear, muscles, and brain working in perfect harmony. These tiny calibrations keep your nervous system and musculoskeletal system deeply connected, reducing the risk of falls while also stimulating the areas of the brain responsible for memory and reflexes. Researchers at Fukuoka University found that people over 60 who can balance on one leg for at least 30 seconds have up to 40% lower mortality risk compared to those who can't. It sounds simple, almost trivial, but in just 2 minutes a day, you're sending your body a powerful message. I am still steady. I am still in control. And sometimes, that is the true secret of longevity. When you stand on one leg, your body performs thousands of subtle adjustments, strengthening your nervous system, muscles, and inner ear. A 15-year study on 12,000 people showed that those who could balance for 30 seconds had mortality rates similar to people 10 years younger. Just 2 minutes a day, that's all it takes to retrain your brain, muscles, balance, and reflexes, all at once. Number 6. Restorative breathing, Kokyu no Kiseki, the miracle of breath. I want you to try something with me, just one breath. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, hold it for 2, then exhale slowly. 4, 6. If you're following along, you've just practiced what the Japanese call, Kokyu no Kiseki, the miracle of breath. I've seen it countless times. People after 50 begin to live with short, shallow breaths. They inhale anxiety and exhale exhaustion. One of my patients, James, 68 years old, once told me, "Doctor, I always feel drained, even when I do nothing." When I taught him Rhythmic breathing, just 10 minutes every morning, something remarkable happened. His blood pressure dropped, his sleep improved, and most importantly, he said, "My mind feels peaceful again." As a physician, I understand why. Each slow, deep breath activates the vagus nerve, shifting the body from fight or flight into rest and repair. It lowers the heart rate, stabilizes blood pressure, reduces inflammation, and awakens the body's natural healing systems. The Japanese believe that breath is the bridge between body and mind. And I believe breath is a gentle reminder that we are alive, not just existing. So each morning, before your coffee, before checking your phone, take a few minutes simply to breathe, properly, consciously. You'll be amazed how just changing your breath can start to make you feel younger from the inside out. Elderly Japanese see slow, deep breathing as a doorway to longevity. They practice Kokyu no Kiseki, meaning the miraculous breath. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. This pattern stimulates the vagus nerve, guiding the body into a parasympathetic state, the place of natural healing, reduced inflammation, steady heartbeat, and restorative sleep. Number 7. Floor sitting posture. I want you to picture this. It's a quiet afternoon. You see an elderly Japanese man, well over 80, sitting cross-legged on the floor, smiling gently as he lifts a cup of hot tea. When he's done, he rises slowly, without holding on to anything, without trembling, without that familiar grimace of knee pain. He walks away calmly, as if age itself were never a burden. I've seen countless scenes like this while working with older patients in both Japan and the US. And I realized something simple yet profound: their strength doesn't come from expensive medicine or supplements. It comes from maintaining a habit that Westerners have nearly forgotten: sitting on the floor. Have you noticed that as we age, we start fearing low positions? Not because we don't want to sit, but because we're not sure we can stand back up. I remember one of my patients, a 68-year-old man, once told me, "Doctor, I stopped sitting down to play with my grandkids. Every time I try to stand, it feels like climbing a mountain." But after just 3 months of practicing floor sitting and standing using the Japanese method, he could rise easily, on one leg. And the most amazing part? He said he felt younger. The floor sitting transition isn't just an exercise for the muscles. It's how we remind the body of its original language of movement. Each time you lower yourself and rise again, your brain, joints, muscles, and heart work together in perfect rhythm. Research from Tsukuba University shows that those who keep this ability have a 21% lower risk of mortality and live independently for many more years. For me, those numbers aren't just data, they're proof of something deeper. Longevity begins the moment you can still sit down and stand up on your own 2 feet. In Japan, older adults still sit for meals, watch TV, and stand up from the floor more than 20 times a day. It's not just a habit, it's a natural full body workout that keeps strength, flexibility, and coordination alive. Studies even show that people who can stand from the floor without using their hands live an average of 6 years longer and score 15% higher on cognitive tests. Every time you do it, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and focus, lights up, keeping the mind sharp well into your 90s. When you look at the elderly in Japan, perhaps what inspires us most is not their lifespan, but the quality of each year they live. They don't try to fight against time, but rather flow with it. Gently, mindfully, honoring each breath. They don't search for longevity secrets in laboratories, but within their own bodies, through simple movements like walking slowly, stretching in the morning, or sitting down and standing up with awareness. It is this quiet consistency, repeated over the years, that becomes the miracle keeping them flexible, peaceful, and sharp until the very end. Science merely confirms what ancient wisdom already knew. The human body was born to move, to breathe, and to heal itself, as long as we allow it to. Modern life has made us forget these simple truths. We sit too long, breathe too shallowly, and live too fast. But if today, you can take just a few minutes to slow down, breathe deeper, and listen to your body, you've already begun a new journey, the journey of rejuvenation from within. The deeper lesson: health doesn't come from what we do once in a while, it comes from what we do consistently, every single day. Small habits, if practiced faithfully, become the most powerful longevity medicine. How to apply it: starting tomorrow morning, choose one of the 7 Japanese movements: walk slowly, stretch, squat. Or simply breathe deeply for 5 minutes. Do it for 21 days, and you'll feel your body and mind begin to change in ways you never imagined. Question for you: if you could choose only one habit to start tomorrow, what would it be? Share your answer in the comments. Your insight might inspire someone else's healing journey. And don't forget to subscribe to Everyday Vital Path. Your support gives us the energy to create more meaningful, life-changing content for you.